Hello and welcome to our next video. In this final review video, we're going to take a quick look at arrays and array lists. And so the code is already done, so let's just plow through it. So hopefully, again, this will be a review for you at this point, but just to make sure, we should be in command of using arrays and ultimately array lists. And we're going to study these in more detail as we continue to go throughout the course. But basically, getting started, the few tricks that we need to remember about arrays and array lists are just how to create them, how to iterate them, and get the data out of them or put data into them, and just some of the tricks about their setup and their indexes. So again, to create any array, we would just have the type we want to create, and then square braces for the signature that we're doing an array, a variable name, and then a new type, and then size. So the thing about arrays, of course, is that it does have a limited size based on how we instantiate it. So we put data into each index, and remember that they're zero based, so that's very important. So even here we have numbers 1 through 10 in indexes 0 through 9. And so we also can declare an array with basically an object initializer here of one line of code. And we have that same int array, myIntArray2 equals new int array. We don't put a size here, but what we do is in these curly braces, we do have the numbers that we want to put in there, and that does limit the size to the same size of 10, 0, or 1 through 10 here, but it's ultimately indexes, again, 0 through 9. So when we work with array lists, the advantage to an array list is that we don't have to worry about the size anymore. The array list allows us to expand as we need to, and therefore we can store and work with data in an array list similar to how we would do with an array. However, remember that now we don't have to worry about the size. So in an array list, we turn the type into the non-primitive type here for integer, and we'll learn about why that is later in the course as well. But for now, just know we can't use the primitive int here. We have to use the full-blown integer or string or double or whatever we're passing in, person, object, or car, or whatever. And we can make that array list store those objects. And the array list is declared with the new array list of type, and then these left and right parentheses. And then we just say .add to put data into the array list. So here we're adding 10 through 120. Again, just to show that size is not an issue, you could continue to add as you wanted to. And I just wanted to show you can actually do this all with one object initializer as well, using double curly braces. I wouldn't recommend doing this. There's not much of an advantage to it, other than you can actually then avoid typing out my int list over and over and over and over again. I just wanted to show it is possible. There's also ways you could do it with an anonymous function, which is way beyond the scope of our course. But just so you know, there are other ways to do it. But for the most part, we're going to be creating array lists, and then we'll just add to them as we need to. So you won't be doing iteration adds a lot anyway, like what this is doing here. So the whole point of this is just to show again that there's just multiple ways to create array lists. There's multiple ways to create arrays, and either way, they're storing data in index, and so it's very important to remember how to get those indexes. And here we have for int, this is actually incorrect code down here. I'm going to have to correct in a second, but we have int array I, or int array1 dot length, and it's going to print out. And then we have int array2 for each one. So we're using the enhanced for this time. So to get the size of an array, we would use dot length. And then we have the array list. We can also use the enhanced for, and this should actually be dot size. And that will give us an error. So we'll put parentheses there. Oh, because I'm still using the wrong variable. This should be my int list2. And let's take these parentheses off just in case. And yeah, we do need those. So let's go ahead and put them back on. And there we have my int list2.size printed out correctly. And again, the .get gets our variable out of the array list, whereas with the array, we use the square braces in order to get out at index. And remember, each one of those important is that they're zero based, so we're one less than size. We do not go less to equal to, we go less than. If you went less than or equal to, you would get an index out of bounds. and that's no good. So if we go ahead and run this now, we should see all of our data printed out correctly. And so we can see, ints 1 through 10, ints 1 through 10, the int list printed out, and then the get at index 0 through 11 working correctly now that I corrected that code. And so that basically wraps up our review of arrays and array lists, and also wraps up our videos for the first week of class, getting started before class even starts. I hope that you've enjoyed these videos. I hope that they've been helpful and have positioned you for ultimate success, and look forward to seeing your success in Comp 121. Thanks very much, and we'll see you soon.